The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Where my girls got the sweetest pussy.
Welcome to SinCityBounty.com. We're back this week. We were going to have a guest, but he had an emergency, so I think we're going to get him next week. And we've got some video to play. I don't know how we're going to play it live, though.
What are we doing?
He did this mini video that was pretty awesome. I don't know.
So I can always bring in all of my I can always fuck around with the technical shit this week, although I really ain't got no time for that. But we do have a broadcaster that will broadcast live to YouTube, and I think it'll broadcast live to Facebook, that allows us to have multiple screens and be able to switch between shots and add picture-in-picture shit. It's really cool, but it means I have to do work during the show, and I don't like doing that anymore.
Hopefully we'll get news that this person can commit. I hate advertising people when they don't show up, so I don't advertise them if they're not going to show. But maybe we'll get lucky. I'd like to have this guest on. He's an artist. I love artists. So, oh, you're going to do your blow-by-blow.
I am. So Toxie's just walked in. She has a beautiful orange bag today. I believe that is Coach. She's got these beautiful big-ass glasses on. She looked like she just came back from a date.
You should wear those onto the air to start. To start, because they look pretty awesome on you.
Yeah. We've convinced her to start journaling, so she's carrying a journal around now. Hopefully it's helping her. She does kick her shoes off, though, because she was bred in a barn and walks around barefoot around here. She brought me Starbucks, even. Is that the pineapple tea that I told you about?
No, it's just regular green tea.
Doesn't she look fabulous in these glasses?
She looks fucking exotic. That's what she looks like.
I love it.
Wait, oh, I was right. It is Coach. I know my purse.
It's a cute little purse.
Yeah.
It's way too small for me now. Can you get in?
Yeah.
You got it?
I'm there.
And there we go. Dead air again.
Dead air again. While we were all mesmerized by Toxie's beautiful booty.
Getting into her seat. Which
now it
happens every week, so... All right.
True.
So before we go into anything else, Sierra is going to tell you about her fabulous weekend, because we got to see all the pictures. A few of them we shared in our super secret Facebook group because they were
giant concrete phalluses.
Yes, they were pretty awesome. And those of you who are in our super secret Facebook group, or who are not in the group but need to be there because you support us on Patreon, I shared those over just for our supporters on Patreon as well. Please go to Patreon and you get some of this super secret stuff that we share.
Some awesomeness.
Like the fabulous photo of Toxie, which I did share on Instagram in a story, so it goes away.
Okay.
So when you stole your daughter's lipstick, that was a gorgeous photo, by the way.
I did. I had no makeup on except for the lip gloss.
Yeah.
And I wear it all the time at home, but I knew she's in the super secret group, and I knew she would recognize it. But I was also wearing a dress from Fernie, so I just thought, yeah, let's snap a photo, and that was it.
And then I was, of course, cruising Facebook at work, so I snapped a picture of myself with Toxie in the background. Put it in the super secret Facebook group. So my weekend. So a year ago, that's how long this story is going to take all night, because it started a year ago. A year ago, a very good friend of ours asked me to officiate her wedding. And I said yes, because as you may know, I am an ordained minister. And we do that all the time. So I am an ordained minister with the Universal Life Church. Go non-denominational motherfuckers. And so she asked me to officiate her wedding. And so I flew out. I was going to fly out Friday night, but my dad convinced me to fly into Pittsburgh instead of Columbus and spend a day with him. And then they agreed to drive me to Columbus, and they would go to the wedding with me, and we would have a good time.
Did you ask your dad the fingering question?
No!
You had the perfect
No.
opportunity.
You know what? He'll be here this weekend. Text her all weekend.
No.
I'm just gonna show up at her house.
There you go.
No.
Is it just your dad, or is his wife there as well?
No, just my dad. I mean, his wife was there over the weekend, but she won't be here this weekend.
I'll still ask your dad.
Oh my God.
I have zero shame.
I know.
I will ask your father.
Let's get your mom on here and talk about her weed.
You can call my mom in and have her. You have to ask her to doobie it down a bit.
Doobie it
I
down.
love that was her attack. Like, she's like, stop talking about my dad and his fingering.
Right?
Let's talk about your mom and your weed.
What do you? Yeah.
Let's talk about your pothead mom. Although my dad's a pothead, so whatever.
I mean, seriously, like my mom will tell you.
That was the best.
Sorry, I have nothing because her mom is as bad as my dad. So I flew into Pittsburgh. I'm always picking my dad up from the airport at like 11 or 12 o'clock at night, so I made him come pick me up at 2 o'clock in the morning in Pittsburgh. So he picked me up, and we went back to their house, and then my dad and I just kind of hung out all Friday. What? And it was cool. Like, my dad's cool. We went out, had to a bar, we had beer. It was good. And then Saturday, we drove to Columbus, and we stayed at this hotel called, I don't know. I'm gonna plug them.
Okay.
This
You liked them.
chain,
So, yeah.
I love them. Yeah. I plugged this chain called the Drury Inn, like Drury, like he lives on Drury Lane. Grury. Drury Lane.
Drury.
Yeah, so it's Drury Inn. You get free
It's back
breakfast.
east. It
It's a
makes
totally
sense.
back east thing.
That's the most fucked up word I've ever heard.
It's like a
makes so
Dutch
much
word or some
sense.
shit.
Drury.
So, that not only do you get free breakfast and you get free dinner, and not only do you get free breakfast and free dinner, but you get 3 free drinks with dinner. And so Saturday night after the wedding, which was beautiful, by the way, the ceremony, if I must say so myself, and I must, was fucking awesome. It was beautiful. The bride loved it. The groom loved it. And I don't give a shit what anyone else thought because they loved it and they're the ones who matter. My dad and my stepmom were like, that was really cool because they've never really seen me do anything like that before. So they thought it was cool. Food was good. Saturday night, now let me remind you that I come from a long line of distinguished alcoholic beverage consumers. So not only were the 3 drinks not going to be enough for us, we decided to go get wine.
Wait, let me tell this part of the story. So she tells me that Drury Inn, is that the name of it? Drury Inn gives you 3 free drinks, right? Plus dinner, plus breakfast. Because I'm thinking, hell, 3 free drinks at night is better than a continental breakfast for free. But they give you all of it, which is awesome.
And it wasn't just crap breakfast.
So
either.
she
It was
says
good.
to me, my stepdad and my dad and my stepmom didn't think that was enough because they're alcoholics. And I said, you mean they're practicing alcoholics? They're
not
active
recovering.
alcoholics. They're not like recovering alcoholics. And they went and got more.
We went and got more wine. So we're at Kroger, which if you live on the West Coast, it's either Fry's or Smith's out here. Over there, it's Kroger. Kroger is the main brand, by the way. So we're in Kroger and we're looking for the specific type of wine, but we can't find it. What I do instead find is the Tower of Zima, because apparently Zima still exists and is in... Sorry.
It exists back east.
It exists, and
in Ohio.
They put it on display.
Not just like a display. It
huge
is
display.
it was as tall as I am pyramid of fucking Zima.
It was a castle tower
It was
of
a
Zima.
castle tower of Zima. It had crenelations and everything. That's not true, but it was amazing. It could have had crenelations. So
If I even knew what a crenellation was, I'd be impressed.
I am a nerd. And so they went, I'm used to them getting beer, but they were like, no, we want to try this one wine. We want to find this wine, but they didn't find the wine. So instead, my big ass, 5'10", 5'11" biker dude dad is just like, well, we just get a couple of bottles of sangria. That's good. I'm like, sangria? Okay. So we bought 2 bottles of sangria. I do know that one was consumed by myself and my dad and stepmom. After our dinner and 3 free drinks, we then reconvened. They had room. I had a room. I was not going to share a room with my parents. So
Why? Then we could have found out.
You never would have had to ask your dad.
Right.
You just would have known.
You would have had to pretend to go to sleep and wait until you heard noises from the next bed and then found out.
I hate you so much. Do you know how traumatized I would be? I would be in the mental institution right now. They'd be like, why are you here?
But would you have the answer?
No. I would have blocked it from my mind. Everybody would have been like, how was your weekend? And I'm like, I don't remember.
The thing is, if you just get us the answer to the fingering question, and just for those who may have missed it, the question is, her father is missing two digits. So we want to know if the nubs make for better.
There's no nubs.
Fingering.
It's just knuckles.
The knuckle. Okay. So if
it's 2 fingers, a thumb,
Right.
and knuckles.
Okay. So if it changes fingering, if it makes it like super easy to fist, if the knuckles like hit the G spot as the fingers are there. So we have specific questions, and she refuses to ask her dad. I don't know why. I don't understand. We tried asking her mom, and your mom said there was not much to quote on our thing, there was not much foreplay involved, so she did not know.
I do happen to know that because both of my parents were extremely graphic during their breakup. I know way more about their individual approaches to sex than I really should ever know.
But I assume that now that he's aware that he's a little bit better about the foreplay, and that includes
I don't care.
fingering. I do.
Can I talk about my dad and butterflies?
Oh, yes. Continue with your
Go
story.
for it.
Okay, so after we had 3 drinks, and of course I drank bourbon at the bar, we drank a bottle of sangria while my dad and
She's drinking bourbon in her head right now.
I am drinking bourbon when I get home. So my dad and I then proceeded to rather buzzedly educate my stepmom about the medical uses of weed. We convinced my stepmom that weed is not a gateway drug. Because her first thing was like, but doesn't weed make you smoke crack? I was like, how long have you been married to my dad? He's the one who taught me how to smoke weed. You pack it like this. So
the one finger.
Well, hell yeah! How does he pack it?
With his
that
pinky.
might answer our other questions.
I would just like to let you know that with 8 fingers, my dad can roll a joint better than any of you motherfuckers. Anyway.
How he packs that joint really will answer everything. So if we could maybe get more detail.
So Sunday, they're trying to decide what to do Sunday because we basically got all day Sunday in Columbus, Ohio to do whatever we want. Oh, no, wait. I forgot about the giant concrete cocks. So on the way to Kroger's to get the sangria, we drove past a field of concrete dildos. And that is exactly what I thought the first time I saw them. I was like, and it just came out of my mouth. And I forgot that my stepmom and my dad are in the car. I was like, holy fuck, it's giant concrete dildos. And my stepmom goes, hey, I've read about those. No reaction, no shock.
Great pictures, by the way. Great
you.
pictures. Thank you.
It's actually a field of giant corn cobs because Ohio is the largest producing state of corn in the country.
Yeah,
Anything-
but if you crop it to where you can't see that it's a corn cob,
It
it's
looks
just
like-
Anything
looks
is
like
a
a rib.
dildo if you're brave enough.
That's
so
right.
Do you know how big
corn-
around these bitches were?
I saw.
I
saw
could
the
not
photo
get my
in our
arms all the way
super
around.
secret group.
In our super secret group, mind you. I put my
I
giant
don't know. Someone
concrete
might
cock.
be gaping.
Listen, if you fart and it just sounds like a breeze, you need to put it down. Stop it.
Anyway, so you get to
down
these.
the
You
concrete
see
corn
the,
cob.
We stopped and took pictures of
you
giant.
turned around.
No, we decided to get the wine first.
Okay.
And then on our way back, stopped and got
Got it,
pictures
got
of
it.
giant concrete cocks in the middle of Columbus, Ohio. Actually, Dublin, Ohio, which is fabulous, by the way, because it is totally Irish town. My dad was like, this place would be great on St. Patrick's Day. And I'm like, this place is inaccessible on St. Patrick's Day. He was like, I think we can get a hotel on the main street and watch it from our hotel room. I'm like, not if you didn't book it 3 days in advance. This place is called Dublin. Dublin, Dad. You need 3 years advance notice on this rooms. He couldn't find
Bring your Irish card.
I'll just lay it down.
Front
I'm
row
so
service.
Irish. My grandmother and my grandfather have the same last name.
Would it work?
Probably not. Because they probably are all mixed something or other.
You'd be giving up blowjobs to get that room. Excuse me, Dad. I have to go get us a room.
I have to go pilfer our pot of gold.
Okay, so you get the sangria, you get
So
to
we
the
get
corn
sangria.
cobs, take some pictures.
Take some pictures, go back to the hotel room, drink 3 bourbons and a bottle of wine, educate my stepmom about weed. talk to some people all night long, and then go to bed. And then we get up at 7:30 in the morning for breakfast. I was up till really late, very buzzed. And we go and have breakfast, and my dad is like, well, we could do the zoo, but I read that the Columbus Zoo, I Googled the Columbus Zoo. My 60-something-year-old big-ass biker dad, who apparently now drinks sangria, I Googled the Columbus Zoo. So I Googled the Columbus Zoo, and it's supposed to be the best zoo in the country, so that might be like a 2 or 3 day trip. Let's go to the conservatory instead.
The Columbus Zoo?
That's what he said. So he's like, let's go to the conservatory. And I'm like, how do you even know that name, Dad? So he's like, I was like, well, what's going on at the conservatory? He's like, boom. He got really excited and goes, blooms and butterflies. I'm like, so we go to the conservatory and we walk all around and we see a bunch of things. And the last room we get to is the room that they have the butterflies in. And we walk in and he goes, oh, it's so awesome. Fucking butterflies everywhere. And then I just wander away from him and my stepmom.
Wait, do you go in there with the butterflies? Or
Yes.
do you just look through the glass?
No, you're in there with the butterflies.
Do they touch you?
Some of them.
Are they shitting on you?
I don't know. No, they're not pooping on me.
No, they're probably dropping little bits of acid and eating through your skin.
Why? Is that supposed to be fun?
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun, and I got pictures to prove it. So then we meet back up towards the end, because now I'm sweating, because it's in one of the, like, tropical exhibit rooms. So I'm like, well, the butterflies were nice, but my back is sweating. Like, I feel it dripping down my butt crack. It is time to go. And my dad is like, I really like the big orange one. It's really cool. And my stepmom's just like, let's just go. And I'm like, yep, time to go, Dad. Time to go. Mind you, he has not had any alcohol yet today. This is Dad.
I was just going to ask that.
No,
like,
this is Dad sober.
more sangria's on the way.
No, this is him sober. So then we get out and we go to where they're hatching the butterflies. You can see all the cocoons and everything, and you can see them hatching. And he goes, that's it. That's the one I like, right there. And then he rattled off some Latin name, and he did it really well. I was very impressed with his use of Latin. He was like, it's the big orange one with the long wings that are kind of shaped like that. That's the one I like. And he talked about this fucking butterfly for like 45 minutes as we drove away from the conservatory.
Big orange one.
The big orange one. It's solid orange. It's really cool.
The things you learn about your parents when you get older, right?
My dad has always loved like science stuff and stuff like that, but you know, he's just usually, when I was growing up, I always remember him being a far more stoic and sometimes an asshole, because that's just my dad.
Maybe even a little scary.
Oh yeah.
But not when he's going, it's a big orange butterfly!
No, especially not when he's like, whoa, 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 there goes the blue one.
I would have fucking used that as a teenager like there was no tomorrow. Like, Dad, I wrecked the car. Look at these butterflies.
I would have been like, butterfly.
Dad, I'm getting married. Butterfly.
Dad, I'm pregnant. Butterfly.
I would use it for everything.
Big orange butterfly. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to buy one of those. I shared this to my private page, but he's never on Facebook. So I'm going to buy one of those spring-loaded envelopes. I'm going to fill it with fake orange butterflies, and then I'm going to send them in the mail. And then it's going to open it up and
can
be
I
like,
borrow $500?
big orange butterfly. I was just going to respond with a thing that might offend some people that I'm related to, so I'm not going to say it, but I'm not my sister. So...
Vendetta says Toxie's reaction to butterflies is amazing. It flies and poops. Kill it. It's in its face with fire.
Yeah, there is zero, like, there, to me, I would love to look at it from, like, behind a screen. But to be in there, no. They gotta shit somewhere, and it doesn't need to be
Why
in
do
your head.
butterflies freak you out? They're like the most... you can kill them with a breath. I mean, they're...
Yeah, no, they're beautiful, but I don't want to be in an enclosed space where they're just... like, there's no pleasure derived from that. It's freaky as fuck. Like, you don't know. I mean, they're sitting on you, they're taking a poo, the next one's flying by. I don't know, dropping a baby in your hair. I don't know how it works.
Well, that's not how it works. Yeah, no. So this one little kid, this butterfly landed on him. That's a cool photo.
Yeah, I would have freaked out and flung my arm.
He's just walking around. He's like, I got a new friend. And he walked up to his grandparents. This was hilarious. This little kid's got this giant butterfly. 80 people are like taking pictures of it, but they're like, good boy, buddy, you got a new friend. Like, he walks up to his grandparents. He's like, hey, grandpa. The guy doesn't even look at the kid. He's like, all right, come on, let's keep going. And I'm like, dude, he's trying to show you something. So finally this little kid's like, no, grandpa, look. And he looks down and he goes, oh, wow, that's cool. Like, this old guy was just, at first off, he was being a dick.
I'd be like, get it the fuck off you.
Toxie would be like, oh, I'm sorry, I roasted our grandchild with my flamethrower that I carry in my purse in case butterflies are near.
She wouldn't even need a flamethrower. She would need one of those creme brulee torches.
You know what?
Those little tiny creme brulee torches.
I would just have like 2 hands full of fly swatters, and it'd just be like,
Don't go to the park with Toxie if you don't want to massacre hands.
I mean, if it's one, like, they're beautiful. If one flew on the table, that's great. Don't fucking fly on me.
Like praying mantis says, fuck it.
No, and don't bring 30 of your friends to come poop on me
Ladybugs.
either.
There were hundreds of butterflies in this exhibit. It was fabulous. Because you'd just be standing there and be like, butterfly right past the big fuckers too. The blue ones were as big as my hands. They were huge. Well, you saw the one on that kid's arm. It was easily as big as my hand.
Yeah, and how do you know it's not a moth? Like a moth didn't sneak in through the night,
What
and
does
then the
it
moth
matter?
was flying by.
It doesn't matter. Moths are beautiful too.
Just as cool as butterflies are.
None of them are.
Speaking of adorable
She
bugs,
is a racist bitch.
No, she's an insectist. You insectist.
Insectus is fine. I'm not racist because I don't want butterflies shitting on me. There's nowhere that becomes racist.
You know what I'm gonna do?
It's
I'm gonna
between
go
the
buy.
moths and the butterflies. It's your racism for moths.
Well, I don't like butterflies shitting on me either, or moths.
She
It's
is
just
an
moths.
equal opportunity insectist.
It's just moths. I probably wouldn't hesitate to swat just because that's what you do with them so they don't eat your sweater.
There's not much different. Fucking butterflies will eat your sweater too.
Then they're getting fucking smushed too. Growing up, I didn't have to roll butterfly balls into my closet. No, I had to roll mothballs in there.
So I am getting one of those butterfly habitats that comes with like 3 different butterflies that can be born in it. And then I'm going to go over to Toxie's house and I'm going to be like, Toxie, I love you, butterflies.
No. I would burn the house down.
Well, your
Then I
daughter
have
would
to live with you.
Your daughter would be on board with me though.
She probably would.
She'd be like,
"Oh,
let's get 4 more.
butterflies." But yeah. No, then I'll be living with you because I burned my place down. So
You can stay with me.
in your bed.
I'm just gonna get her a creme brulee flamethrower just to see what she does
it.
with
You know
it.
what happens?
We're gonna get it engraved, butterfly slaughterer.
Listen, it's not in trouble if it like floats on this microphone and I'll say how beautiful. Like, love your wings, buddy. Go ahead. But if that comes near me, it's on. Like, I'm gonna kung fu chop that or something. Like, it's not happening.
Look at her face. She's like totally serious
I'm not
too.
even
She is
kidding.
totally
Like,
serious.
there's no.
John's got some EDC shit happening over there.
Yeah, there is no. It's legit. That's not happening.
We
So
can
you-
hear that, by the way.
So you had a great weekend.
I did. I had an amazing weekend. It was a lot of fun.
Love the pictures. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
all the pictures. I love keeping up on people with their pictures. So
I did take a shit ton of pictures, and I really only posted the
I
best
was
ones.
gonna say shit. I did take
I did. I pooped in that bathroom so many times
At the
hotel.
Drury Inn?
At the Drury Inn.
a
I did. And then
their
No.
plumbing held up. That's important
yeah,
to
their
me.
plumbing held up.
Yeah.
Their plumbing seriously held up. And okay, so most airports are shit in case you get stuck there because the chairs are uncomfortable. There's no place to lay down, and there's hardly any wall sockets to plug your phone into. But John Glenn International Airport at Columbus, Ohio, holy fuck, is that a comfortable ass airport? First off, there's all these big ass padded chairs all over the place, and in the bottom of those chairs, fucking USB ports, so you can plug your phone in, and they're super speed USB ports, by the
And
way.
that's not happening at McCarran here, right?
Yeah, hell no. They got their uncomfortable ass metal chairs with like 2 plugs for 8 chairs, and you got to like fight with 45 other people to try to like whatever. But
There are plugs though.
there are plugs, but it's like it is literally like one set of 2 plugs for every 4 chairs. I'm like, that is not enough plugs in this place. And they had benches, these long ass padded benches that were very clearly designed for people to crash on. And then I remembered it is Columbus, Ohio. I'm certain they get snow delays
winter.
all the time. And so they need places for people to sleep in the airport
And
that
charge their
isn't
phone,
the
yeah.
most disgusting floor ever. Their bathrooms were really nice. I destroyed one of them. It was like, woo.
So this sounds. Are we losing you to Columbus, Ohio, anytime soon? Because you love the greenery,
I
you
am
love
just
the
saying,
butterflies, you love the corn cobs.
When my son graduates in, 6 years, there is no reason for me to stay here except you guys and one other thing that I am committed to. What is this? We get a note? Don't tell Toxie.
All I see is don't tell Toxie. You can't do that kind of stuff.
Hell yeah.
Put it somewhere I won't go after it.
Oh no, I was going to put it down my pants, but she clearly has stuck her hand in my vagina twice.
Twice.
And I'd put it in my butt crack, but she'll probably go there too.
Probably.
It's very clean. I can vouch for that.
As you have shared.
Many,
keep my ass
many times. It's super white. It's
Super
like
white.
super white.
It literally never sees the light of day.
If she were to go mud wrestling and then you spread her cheeks open,
I'd look like a skunk. It'd be like brown, white stripe.
it'd be like a Nazca line.
Like a what? A NASCAR line?
Nazca.
I'm out.
Science! Toxie's like, peace out.
Later. What? You want to talk about Meghan Markle? Back in.
Hell yeah, that wedding's next week, isn't it?
That I think it's this week or next week.
It's real soon, though.
Like Thursday or Friday.
Oh, did you hear her dad is uninvited to the
So,
wedding?
listen.
Uninvited or just not going?
Listen. Here's what he did.
Okay.
Okay, listen. I love Meghan Markle, by the way. Her dad did a photo op with paparazzi in the U.S., and he got paid money for it. And it happens all the time, but I guess it got out that this was staged. He did it, one person said for the money, another person said to help him get a better kind of reputation. So then he backed out and said, I'm not going to go because I don't want to embarrass her. Then he had this like heart attack before, and now he's like, oh, I have to have surgery. So 1 minute he was going, the next minute he wasn't, and it's been very back and forth. As of right this moment, as far as I'm aware, he is not going. The question is, who's going to walk her down the aisle? Will it be her mother? Will it be Prince William?
Or has she just done away with that part of it?
Or maybe.
Maybe she's gonna come dance down the aisle like they do in those great
That
videos.
would be great. In a viral video.
She is getting married in the big ass chapel, right?
Mm-hmm.
She is not going to come dancing down the fucking aisle.
But
She's
wouldn't
not.
that be awesome? In front of the queen and everybody.
No.
She's
You know
not.
what'll happen is suddenly...
I thought it was.
Never mind. I
thought
was
Meghan
going to go to a
was there
place
for
that
it.
was really dark and very terrible. I was going to say suddenly she crashes while she's driving in a car through
No.
a tunnel. I was going to go there. That was bad.
No, it's this weekend. Okay, good. I mean, I definitely plan to watch it.
That's after the wedding.
Or at least clips after. But no, her younger brother. So she has this younger half sister and half brother, stepsister, stepbrother, who are like really horrible people. Her stepbrother sent.
I feel you, Megan. I got terrible siblings too.
He sent an open letter to Prince Harry saying that, wait, I wrote some down, saying that Meghan Markle is jaded, shallow, and conceited, and you're making the biggest mistake in royal wedding history by marrying her.
We all
In an
do,
open letter.
y'all do know Meghan Markle was like an activist when she was 11, right? Like she got some tampon company to change their commercial or some shit like that because she was like, hey, yo, that's not like cool. Come on, motherfuckers. If ever there was an American we should all aspire to be, it's me. Merica.
Merica.
Oh, say,
Okay, what else?
can you see my
So
Nazca line?
I want to tell you about my weekend. Little different. I had a friend in town. We went out very last minute. She was supposed to have left. We ended up going out Friday night.
And I still didn't get your texts.
You did not. I was too busy on condom patrol.
So you were doing my job.
I was doing your job, and I was making sure that guys had condoms on before they got involved in the action that I was watching.
Directing, producing?
Producing. I was basically the director.
You were the production
And
manager.
I was such a good director that I was literally like one guy. So we had another friend there who was very interested in partaking in a few different things here. So
You should probably mention first, where did you go?
I went to the studios.
Okay.
By the way,
Our
spoke
favorite
to the owner.
place.
We're going to get them on the show. They're going to come in.
Okay.
Her and her son.
Well,
so I talked
we've
to
had
him as
him on
well.
before.
Right, and he remembered. So anyway, so first it started out just to share downstairs, and I was called in there, and I was told, your friend wants you in here. And I go in, and there's my friend, and she has other friends, and
New
multiple
friends?
ends and new friends, and so this friend was like, hey, I need you to kind of control the traffic here and make sure everyone's safe, and I did. And one guy hopped up on the bed thinking he was getting something. I'm like, nope,
There is no raw dog in this history, son.
not happening. And he's like, no, she said I just need a condom. And I'm like, no, that wasn't the only criteria. Like, you were kind of sweaty and gross looking. And I didn't tell him that part, but I'm like, no. Like, I'm
No sweaty, gross guy, no.
I'm too good of a friend. Your penis is not going in her mouth. Like, you're unshowered, obviously.
FYI, it is
So-
your job to keep Skater Boy, lubing his socks guy, and
Yeah.
rubber bands around his dick dude off of me.
Totally down. I mean, I'm really good at it. I found I was much better at it than I thought I would be. To the point where now a fourth friend of ours pulled me aside and was like, hey, you're being a buzzkill. And I said, drunkenly, by the way, that's the amazing part. I said, this is my job.
So in addition to the creme brulee torch, she gets a whistle.
I definitely need a whistle and some of those
Toot toot.
glow cones.
And a little counter clicker, like, we only have room for 3 more right now. 1, 2, 3, go through.
One hole's available. Move along. Bring the line up. Let's go. So it was amazing.
Was there any DP action?
So there was a lot going on. We'll leave it at that. There was a lot going on.
All right, when
And
we're off the
so-
show, I'm getting details.
So at one point, this friend was done, and she's like, hey, I'm leaving. So I was hanging out, talking to some people. The next thing I know, someone else comes and gets me and said, your services are needed in one of the private rooms. I go in the private room, same scenario. I had to go in, kick some dudes out.
Are you
I
like,
had to regulate who was at the door.
are you the new studio's regulator? Like,
I
is that your
apparently
job?
was.
You're not
It
getting
was-
paid to do this?
I was not paid to do it, and it was so much fun. So I'm going to go and start volunteering. So I will let them know that, hey, are you going to have multiple partners tonight? I'd like to volunteer to manage your action. I will make sure that they are protected, that they are showered, and that they're polite. If anybody thinks they're cutting in line, they are out. So it's great.
Get
I
you a
mean,
little
I was
referee
like,
shirt, like a little.
I do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wear like a sexy tight referee shirt. I'm gonna be there with my whistle, and I'm gonna be there handing out the Kleenex after, and which is part of what I did as well. And
Mints?
no mints. I probably should have. But
You know what you should, instead of Kleenex, you should have a box of those Cottonelle
should-
wet wipes, the flushable
Yeah.
ones. You know what? No, a certain pay-by-the-month shaving club offers dude wipes.
I saw those. They sell them in the store too,
Yeah.
dude wipes. I think I'm going to get maybe a little pouch, and like you go
fanny
in and there's
pack?
No,
like you know
I know
how
which
you go
one you're
into the
gonna get.
restroom and there's people in there who. What are they called? They hand you towels and they have soap there and mints and gum.
Restroom attendant?
So I'm going to be, instead of a restroom
gonna
attendant,
be a
I'm going to be
fuckroom
a
attendant.
fuckroom attendant and have this little belt on, and I'm going to be like, wipe, Tip, please.
So Bree, hi Bree. By the way, we miss you, Bree. We want you to come home.
Hi,
Bree says, Toxie, I'm hurt. I thought we were good friends, and you've never offered this service to me.
Bree, I will tell you, I never knew I would be good at this service. And now that I know, I can fully manage your sexual experience expeditiously, cleanly, and in a very timely type manner. Two of those words meant the same thing, but it doesn't matter. I'm good at it.
So you have discovered your life's purpose this weekend.
I did. This is my purpose. And at one point, like at the end, there were still 4 guys and we were running out of time. So I said, I think I might have you all drop your drawers and I can choose who goes next. But at that point, we were like, listen, all right, it's done. So I did get asked if I was, participating, which I was not. I felt I was very clear in the fact that I was like, hey, you, let me see your dick if there's a condom on there. I figured I served my purpose. It was obvious what my purpose was. So.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. You had like an eye-opening experience.
I did. It was amazing. If anybody, people out there, listeners of this show, if you're having a multiple partner sexual experience and you need somebody to manage the circumstance, manage the situation, manage who goes where, I'm your gal. I'm totally your gal. Yes, that's what I need. How do I get a steampunk belt bag?
It's on Etsy.
It's made out of vegan canvas, which is very important to me.
It's got hidden pockets.
Oh, but you just said you need an orgy utility belt. That's what it is.
It is, you know what, we'll share the link on
I
Facebook.
will, so I need this, and I need it so I can fill it with condoms, lube, wipes, mints, a couple tissues, my whistle, maybe even papers to distribute numbers after if anybody wants to
A
keep
roll
in
of
touch.
tickets.
Tickets? Now serving number 17.
Yep.
And then I'm like,
Never mind.
pass your ticket. You're back in line now. Serving
Never mind.
18. So, orgy utility belt. It is going on my my birthday
Orgy
list,
utility belt.
my Christmas list, whatever.
I'm posting it on our Facebook page.
If anybody
the
would
link for
like to
this.
buy me this orgy belt, that would be amazing.
Toxie's
And-
orgy belts.
I will come and manage your orgy.
That's right.
That's my new service.
I wonder if they list that on ZipRecruiters.
I'm going to make business cards, Orgy Management Services,
Orgy Management Services.
OMS,
OMS.
Toxie O'Shea OMS, Orgy Management Services. We're in Vegas. There should be a lot of need for this. So totally looking
Well, since you're
forward to
becoming
this.
really good friends with the people at the studio, and we're going to be having them on the show, maybe you could actually literally get a job
when
doing
they
that.
come on the show, I'm going to propose this idea.
Yeah.
So here's an idea. I know we haven't really settled on a location for our 400th episode yet.
I totally thought it while I was there.
Because that red room upstairs, I mean, we could move some stuff around. Or fuck the red room, we
So
could do it
much
right in front of
room.
the bar. We could clear all that stuff out at the bar and set up there.
If they're willing, we'll talk to them.
We'll ask. We'll talk to them. I talked to them about maybe doing a show from there. And as far as the live audience, we would have to bring our own in if it was before ours. Because
Yeah, of course, it would be a special. Come enjoy the studio grounds
CUM,
with us.
enjoy the studio.
Yeah.
With us for our 400th episode. Stick around for the party afterwards. Yeah.
Tanya
Absolutely.
says
One more
UNLV should
thing
offer
you'll
courses
like.
in OMS.
Who?
Yes, I will teach it. I will be the professor of OMS.
The professor of OMS.
Professor.
Can you call yourself that?
I can.
If they
I'm
give
gonna
her an
start calling it
honorary, you know
now.
what? If she includes all the, what do you call those people that make decisions at UNLV? Those guys, they probably give her an honorary degree, so then she could be a professor.
Probably.
And I have to tell you a really fast story because I thought of you the whole time.
It has to do with conch wobbles. I'm sure of it.
Well, they have the, what's the cross? The St. Andrew's cross?
Yep.
So jokingly, I was talking to someone and they said, hey, why don't I whack you? And I'm like, all right, whatever. Because you remember the last time when that guy kept...
Apparently, she's my leather booty sister.
Right. And he kept going and going and going. And I'm like, stick it out a little more. It's not hurting. Give it another shot. Is that all you got? Like, it was nothing. So, totally, you know, strapped up. I kept my jeans on because that's my secret defense. Without the jeans, I'd be crying like a baby before it even hit me.
I would just like to let you know that one time through jeans, I gave a girl a blood blister the size of my hand.
Well, I think I may have gotten one this time.
Woo!
So this
you got
guy
a professional.
This guy hits once, and I go, all right, I felt that. I felt that.
Was it someone I know?
No,
Some random dude?
Yeah.
You let a rando spank you?
Well, I mean, I was fully dressed.
But did you
and
give
it was
him a
just
safe
joking around. No, we were just joking around.
You
It wasn't
never
like
joke around.
Like it wasn't a formal thing.
If you're gonna get strapped to anything,
I didn't
and
strap.
someone,
I just went up.
You
and
just
like,
leaned.
Yeah. I just
She
leaned in. I
leaned.
wasn't strapped.
you need a
Fuck
safe
no,
word.
I'm not gonna strap on that. So second one, I'm like, God, oh, that hurt. Like I was pretty loud at that moment, and I kept thinking, the last time, like, that guy was up to, I don't know, 13, 14, and his arm was tired. Like, I felt nothing. And by the third one, I jumped, and I'm like, I'm out. I tap out.
Was he
I'm
barehanding
done.
you, or did
I'm
he have
done.
an instrument?
No, it was his bare hand. But it was on my jeans.
Can you introduce me to this guy?
Yeah, next time. Totally next time. Seriously, if he's there next time, I will
'Cause
absolutely be like...
aside from getting a little bit red, I have yet to meet the person who can leave marks upon me.
Well, I'm telling you, I know a woman who could leave marks on you, but we're not calling her up.
Is that the
It's an awkward
desire? Is
situation.
that the want? Is that the goal of the relationship? Is, you know what, I date you, but you really don't hit that hard.
If that's what
Honestly,
you enjoy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a...
Yeah, if that, I'm just saying, okay, listen. So, if you're ever have been a fan of the show, you know I'm a weird, kinky motherfucker. So, if we are at that point where I feel comfortable enough with you sharing that part of me with you, yeah, you better well be able to step up to the fucking plate. If you can't step up to the plate, you're going to either have to A, open this thing up and let me go get that desire fulfilled elsewhere, or B, no, there's a C and D as well, or maybe just a C.
There's all the way through Z, but I mean, we
So
only
A,
have 10 more
open it up,
minutes.
B, learn, or C, you later. Like, it's an integral part of who I am. I mean, I don't need it every single Tuesday, but I mean, once in a while would be nice. More than once a year for special occasions.
Okay.
So have I got the guy for you? By the way, another side note while I was there, so my friends were off, and at one point I was just sitting in that red room by myself, and guys totally, like, this is how it is. They'll come up to you, they'll say something, you tell them no. I have this much more mature gentleman come up to me, and I'm like, no, thank you, you know, I'm good, and you know, that was it, and he was nice. This dude came up to me, and he looked at me, and I posted it on my Facebook. I've had this said to me before via, like, private message, but this guy was like, you have really fat thighs. How much do you weigh? And I paused for a moment, and then I'm like, more than you. And I kind of turned to the side, and he stood there because I was on that one couch.
Yeah.
And he was on the stairs, so he was looking at me from that direction. And
That's
he
a
just
terrible
stood
From
there.
above, right?
Yeah,
From
from
above?
above. And then he just stood there, like, staring at me.
Staring at you.
Just staring.
Wow,
So,
creeper.
obviously it was at my thighs, but hey, it's not a leading question. Like, hello
Just
works.
found a meme specifically for you, but I have not. It's not Jod and Jif though. That one was for you. But it was specifically about thunder thighs, and I thought I.
So do you
saved
think he
it.
was coming on to you, or?
Oh yeah, I didn't think he meant it as offensive. Like, I think
Right.
he meant it as, because some guys will say like, oh, you know, I'm really into your thighs, and you know, I get it. I don't
Well,
get
I think
offended
the
by that.
staring at you for...
The staring was creepy.
Yeah.
And so with him saying it to me, it wasn't like he was, you know, trying to be offensive. I don't think he meant it maliciously. Like, I feel like he felt comfortable. But, and the staring was creepy. Like, I'll totally admit that. But, I don't know. Like, I just don't know what goes through someone's mind to make them think this is what I'm going to say to someone. So what if they said it to somebody who was really self-conscious about it? you know, they were unsure of themselves, or they were, you know, they just weren't feeling really good about their body, and you walked up and said that, you could really damage somebody. I mean, at least for me, like, yeah, I know I have fat thighs, you know, but so you're stating a fact. It's creepy, but not a huge deal.
No, standing on the stairs, looking down and staring
That
at you
part
for
was,
minutes on end.
Yes.
That
yes.
is creepy.
Yes. And I sat there and I'm kind of like, I kind of don't know what to do right now. Like, I was waiting for my friends to come back up.
You needed your own regulator.
I needed a regulator, and he wasn't bothered. Like, I didn't need to, you know, call security or anything. It was, I closed the place down.
What?
Yes.
They close at like 3 or 4 in the morning.
4. I closed the place down.
Well, of course, you probably, knowing who you were with, and the two of you in your timetables, you probably didn't get there till 1 o'clock in the morning anyway.
So it was later, yeah. We
Yeah,
got there later. And then we went
That
with
wouldn't
people.
be like me closing it down because I'd have got there at 9 when they opened and stayed till 4. I would have worked like a whole shift.
Right, but no, and then we went.
Working from 9 to 5.
So at the end of the night it was.
Full-time OMS, not part-time like this bitch.
Hey, I may only be a part-time OMS, but I'm putting in a full-time duty with it.
She said duty. Because I'm 12. Oh, we just went straight for middle school humor with that.
Again. Let me reiterate. Let us not let this slide into poop.
Did you see the meme that someone created for us
You know
last
who
week?
that was?
Vendetta.
Vendetta.
He created a meme for us about not letting it slide into poop.
We do love fans who are also graphic artists and musicians who can make cool shit like memes for us and music videos. Thank you, Vendetta. We love you so much. Oh, God. So, let's talk about how you motherfuckers can help pay our bills. We have a Patreon account. And just so you all, our Patreon's paid for our Sonic this evening. We're going to plug Sonic.
Where the hell is the bag? Get the bag!
It's way the fuck over there.
Okay.
So Patreon, you paid for our website and our Sonic this evening.
Right.
And thank you all so much for that. Johnny Fever, your burger this evening was provided by our Patreon account friend
Sponsors.
peoples.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Those bitches.
And the fact that you still get to look at our lovely mugs via our website was also paid for by our kind Patreon supporters.
Thank you, Patreon supporters. If you don't know where to go to supply money to us through Patreon, please go to SinCityBounty.com, click on the Patreon link.
Links. There are multiple ones.
Yeah, they're all over
There's
the
also
place.
a one-time PayPal link where if you don't want to do the $5 a month or $1 a month or whatever, you can just do a one-time payment.
And don't we have something special for somebody who donates like $1,000?
No, we don't have a $1,000 level, but you offered something last week
Good.
on the $1,000 level.
A private video chat.
Yeah, but they've got to do 2 months, and I think we should make sure it's at least 2 months.
Even one gets a video chat.
Yeah,
Come on.
$1,000 gets
I mean,
you
I'm
one
cheap.
like
I'll video chat at the one.
Yeah.
You can go to 2.
you get a 1 hour video. No. You get a 30-minute video chat for every $1,000 you donate.
Oh, goddamn.
Hell yeah. You want an hour and a half? $3,000, baby. No one's ever gonna pay that.
You better I better write this down.
Write it down.
Just in case. We're gonna
because
get
next week it'll be an hour or something.
Here's the deal, guys. Here's why we're kind of promoting our Patreon. We have so many exciting things coming up for you, but we need to finance the ability to do so.
Yes.
So you love joining us every week. You love, watching our videos. You love going onto our Facebook, our super secret Facebook, our YouTube, listening via our podcast.
For those of you listening audibly, you've missed out on all the physical shit we do on this show.
You did, but the
you know what?
podcast
The
is
podcast
still
is fucking
awesome.
hilarious.
I myself, and I've mentioned it before, I listen back to our podcast all the time because it allows me the ability to listen as a fan versus seeing myself
Yep.
on screen. I get to just listen, and I'm like, oh, it's like I'm hanging out with my friends.
I subscribe to Us on YouTube, and I have to tell you, it's pretty awesome when it comes up. And then it's just right in my queue, you know, right,
I like it when
right
it
in
comes up,
between,
too.
right in between SGU and They Call Us Bruce and Rachel Maddow. I love it.
Yeah, so definitely, if you want to continue seeing awesome things and see what we have coming in the works, feel free to.
And anyone who would like us to come out and do a show from your location, please contact us. We have special rates.
Yep. And we've got something special coming. Let's talk about, we have less than 2 minutes left.
We have 1 minute.
But there's that woman who sent the 65,000 texts.
We are going to do a seminar soon. We're not certain when or where yet. We've got some information coming up. We're working on it. How to not be that person.
So
And
here's the deal.
I'm going to give you the first one free. You don't even, because the only people who will be able to see it online will be Patreon supporters. And otherwise, you'll have to come live in person to see it. That's it. It'll be Patreon only and live in person. We won't be broadcasting this live to the public. But I will give you the first rule on how to not be that person, and that is do not send 65,000 texts.
65,000 texts. I watched the little minute video. Yeah, I watched that little mini video on one of the news networks on my YouTube because I subscribe to all the news channels, and she's just talking like a normal, like one of us,
right?
And then at the very end, she's like, I love him.
Here's what happens.
I love him.
Sometimes we snap. Sometimes when we feel we're in love or we're dating or we're not getting the attention we need or we're getting too much attention or not the right. Like, sometimes there's something that happens to us where we go, if you and I were to talk about it now, we go, holy fuck, who would do that? But really,
I've
anyone.
never done that. No.
Well, no, of course. Obviously, nobody's ever sent that, but I'm certain you've done things in your dating history where you can think now and go, why the fuck did I do that? I know there is, because that's what started the conversation.
Nothing I'll admit to.
I promise that if I find out that
Video
you
game
have
Roadhead does not count.
if you have sent someone 100 texts in a day, I will slap the fucking shit out of you.
Whoa. What if it's in the course of a conversation? Like, there's an equal exchange of 100 for
That
100?
is something. No, that's something completely different. If remember, my psycho ex used to call the place we used to hang out all the time.
I used to get my friend Anthony to answer the phone and be like, "Stop calling here, motherfucker," because he's got a voice like the depths of hell himself. Just
I'm going to be that friend that if you are calling constantly and hanging up and calling and hanging up and calling and hanging up,
And who-
I will slap
Why
the
are you
shit
guys
out of
directing
you.
this at me?
I'm directing it at her.
I am not
I'm like,
Yeah, we got to wrap it up, you
not
guys.
crazy. I am a little.
That's bullshit.
Maybe we can do this lecture because we've maybe all been there a little bit.
And we've also been talking about it a lot in preparation for this seminar. But bottom line, there's things we do that we want you to be aware of what they are. And there you go.
I'm Elexia.
Toxie.
And Sierra,
And we will be back next week.
if you're brave enough.
Later, bitches.